you. Well, I've been reading my Feminism and Art History Questioning the Litany. Very interesting stuff, but I will get back to that in a minute. So, I looked it up. Apparently it's called a heptic when it's 6. And I decided I didn't have a palette essentially, so I used these as palettes. But what I really liked about it is that there was a spontaneous outcome to it, especially the textural elements of it, and times overnight where the paint has dried. There's kind of like a thick gooey texture that I just like the sensory aspect, just want to touch it like that, it's so fun. And then these were my founding sketches. I think upon reflection I would like to look into negative spaces again, or incorporating white. I also found that using pencil wasn't that conducive, simply because they smudge very easily, so that has this kind of dirty look. So I went to use charcoal instead, so that I could have more sharp and precise lines, but this also aided in creating a shadow-like formation as well, so that was particularly useful. And I wanted to hone in on the primary colour palette especially, and then I did a little bit more there. And then I moved from that. Then actually I should have curated this a little bit better, but it's fine. And anyway, so I did some drawings, and then what I did was photocopy them, and then photocopy them again and again and again. So you've got these layers, and it's really fun. So I like the transparency and them overlapping in particular. And then I've got some research as well, so I looked at art and discontent, colour, and then this one as well, which is the hidden order of art. And then actually these are my final pieces, so back here again. And then I thought after doing that I'll go on canvas. Still looked really flat, so I wanted to make it, I wanted to move forward from that, but I was really unhappy with this painting, as you can see. So I thought, do you know what, let's incorporate a bit of humour in it. And then I thought, why not make shapes inside the material, like engraving. So I bought my own engraving tools, and then these lines took me about 10 hours to do, I'm not exaggerating, they took such a long time. And it was the most dissatisfied outcome I've had in my life. I showed it to my dad as well, and he said it looks like a beginner, so that was really nice to hear that. So I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to torture myself just for the sake of creating these lines. It doesn't even look good in my opinion anyway. I mean, it's very scuffled, as you can see. So I then wrote text on it again, just to make light of the situation. And also I think text is really good to facilitate humour, to facilitate reflection. So that's why it's purposely not nailed in properly, just to show that I really did not care about this piece. And also a bit of humour attached to it. Then these are my final pieces, which I'm so happy about. So I thought, what if I just make 3D objects instead of engraving, because I can't do engraving for my life. So I cut them out, and I used my own, I did it all by myself because I'm all about authenticity and I want to do it all handmade. So that's why I chose not to do anything engraving with like computer software, because for me it's about the sensory handmade experience. It's also like an homage to my roots, because I've come from a very labour sort of intensive background, like, you know, Welsh miners. So I cut them out, put them on, well, I couldn't afford a canvas, so from a sustainable point of view I was using, these are all recycled materials just for reference, So cardboard is very cheap, but it's also very easily attained as well. So all of this I got from the bins, basically, in my student accommodation. So sustainability is another big aspect of my work, making sure that it's handmade labour. I wanted to have a bit of fun again with composition and shape. This is why I decided not to do text, because I just wanted to focus on shape, composition and colour. And I wanted to give it the effect that it's almost like falling, but I've nailed it in such a way that people can also play with it. So they can play with the composition, which I also think is really fun again. Because I'm going to look at doing it from a more technical point of view and incorporate electronics. So I'm in liaison with the engineers currently to see what we can do about it. So I can't do maths or engineering. And then I wanted to see what it looked like with the block colour, flat. Yeah, I really like this one. I think this is the most effective one in my opinion, so I think I'm going to stick to block colours. And then I wanted to see, because I had done block, I had done a bit of expressive as well. What if I did a gradient? I think the gradient is also quite effective too. I like the different grades of colour within the canvas, so that is something that I might delve into as well and see about different colour palettes, and potentially look at doing using spray paint, just because it's a more fast process, and also you can get more of a subtle sort of gradient rather than it being more obvious, even though this would take a lot longer. So that is my work. It is process-led, most definitely. I build up on ideas each time, and yeah, thank you.